Alright, recovery room. So, from my waist up, things seem normal. Drinking some ginger ale. But, try as I may, that foot is not connected to my body yet. I can't move it. I'm trying right now, and I can't move it. They gave me a spinal, and then there's a ice pack on this leg where the knee was replaced. Pretty gray day outside. And
May take a picture of you.
I think
I don't see her watch anywhere.
who knows, maybe it's in my coat pocket.
It feels.
Here I am. Got an IV on me. Identification tags. Repeated numerous times that it was the right knee. My great food supply is ginger ale right now. I actually feel no pain. This is a spirometer. Supposed to see how well I can breathe. Maybe I'll try it. Just to make the thing go as high as possible. I guess check in. Kind of neat.
Very fancy room. This looks good. It's better than some hotels we've stayed in.
What's that?
This looks better than some hotels we've stayed in.
No, the price is higher. Sure.
Bathroom. A shower. All the amenities.
Can't get it past 1,000.
Well, maybe when all the anesthetics worn off.
Get a little dizzy. Try it one more time. Wow, almost 1,500.
Is that good?
Well, I guess. Well, here I am in my room. View outside of a wall. Bathroom. TV with, holy smokes, 172 channels. 2 pages. Starting at 44, so 44 from 172 is, let's see, 4 from 12, 8, 4 from 17, 13 minus 1, 12, 128 channels. Everything you wanted to know, none of which I want to watch right now. I'm drinking ginger ale, water, and this device here, which you're supposed to suck in, supposed to do it maybe 10 times an hour. I'll do it. think the highest I got it up is 1500. I don't know if highest is better. Direct and say between the lines. I do it a few times. Like that. And then they gave me a spinal, which is a deadening of the nerve at the spinal cord, so everything from the waist down is kind of like non-existent. It's like you can see it's there, but you can't move it, so slowly it's coming back. So what I can do with the left leg, which is the one that didn't get operated on, is I can now lift and bend it like this, and I can move it side to side, and I'm starting now to be able to move my whole ankle back and forth. I couldn't do that before. I think the medication that's given to block this nerve is processed by the liver. The liver's right here. And degrades the medication, just takes it apart, so to speak, metabolizes it, turns into something harmless. There's also a bag on this leg which squeezes and then releases to promote circulation, so the blood is still moving around despite the fact that it's numb. Okay, so that's the leg that not operate on, so I can move my foot back and forth, and I can pull the toes forward and back. I can rotate it. I can bend the knee, bring it back. And the hip action, rotation is fine. And lifting it, I can do a leg lift just a little bit, maybe an inch. Now, the knee that was operated on has got this special like bag around it of cooling water, which is worked by a machine that's sitting on the floor there. Yeah. And I think they put ice water in there and it circulates it. The purpose is to reduce swelling. Swelling causes pain. Also, swelling reduces your ability to move the leg. This one's now filling up with air pressure now for promoting movement. So this leg here, I can start to lift it. That's good. And I can't do as much with the foot. I can take the whole leg and rotate it back and forth, and I can take the toes and I can start wiggling them now. Yeah, and I can feel a tiny bit of pain on the kneecap area. I'm sure they're giving me pain stuff. Let's see if I can lift it. Yeah, I can lift it with the hips. I can rotate it, roll it back and forth, bend it. Okay, they're supposed to come back in an hour and start giving me some therapy. The time is 4:50 on the Super TV. What do we got over there? We got a little sink. There's a doorway. A bed with multiple positions, I'm sure. I'm sitting up partially in a pillow. And I'm all alone in a room. Which is alright, I don't need a bunch of people bothering me. My stuff's over there. I brought, and obviously I have my cell phone. Well, that's the update. Like I said, the time is 4:56. I was operated on around 11, I think, and the operation, I think, took 2 hours. operating room. It was a big operating room there. I think there were 4 people in it. They moved me around from the gurney I was on over to my side. I think that's when they gave me the spinal. And I don't remember anything after that. So while they operated on me, I was not semi-conscious. I was not. Oh my goodness, I get to eat like a king. Veggies and a hamburger. Except I don't know how to raise the bed so I can eat. But anyhow, time is 4:38. Here's a picture of my leg. Today's Friday evening. The operation was done Monday at noon. This is where a tourniquet was put across my leg. So that's what this bruising supposes is from. Doctor's initials. I assume he's something to do with making sure he does the right leg. Okay, and this is the area that was hurting the most for me, where the bones were touching and scraping most, and I had the most swelling occurring along this area, and it still hurts the most, this side. Of course, they cut the femur, the tibia and the fibula, cemented the, 2 halves of the joint, took the patella and laid it back, I guess like that, put some kind of pad underneath it, but replaced it. And in order to do all that, they put a incision here, and then spread this apart, spread that apart. I think after they put my leg in traction, pulling the knee joint apart, and then bending it back so that this entire joint would be exposed, and then the items that were in the way were pushed over and aside, and then they would protect around the underneath of the bone while they cut the bone, form the bone to fit the new joint. This is about 1 pound of steel in me. Okay, so what's happened now is I have a wrap I put on it, and then I wear this cold pad that goes around. It's connected to a tank, which is not here right now, and then pumped by way of this hose. Cold water, which lasts about 4 or 5 hours. Put ice in it. And then this bandage here goes around to protect my skin from the cold from this device. Not supposed to be tight. I've got some foot swelling, and to prevent that, that's what the ice is for. I'm also elevate my leg as much as I can, and when I elevate it, I'm also trying to straighten it, because it wants to stay bent like this. See, and you don't want it to be bent, you want it to be straight. That's one of the problems with the healing process, is you want the leg to be able to be straight in a natural position. You also want the foot to point pretty much forward, maybe a little bit off to the side, but not much. So when you're relaxing, keep the toes inward. I connect the rubber band from here to there sometimes to hold them together and keep this one from flopping out. Otherwise, the comfortable position is to go like this. You see, and that's not necessarily the best position to be healing in. Okay, and the other thing is you want to be able to bend your leg 90 degrees to start with for about a week, until these stitches here, which are covered by a waterproof bandage till they heal strong enough. And then after that, then you can start bending it more. This one bends 123 degrees. So I assume this one, they'll try to get this one to bend that much more. Okay, so here's the wrap we put on before we put the cold pack on. Put it on loosely just to keep the skin protected. And you see my foot is swollen. And I keep it elevated as much as I can, but it's larger than the other foot. This is all puffy. And the blood drains down here from gravity. So that's where the bruise shows. All of the damaged blood collects in that area. It's not unusual. I'm sure my calf feels bigger than it should be. Hard to tell the difference, but it's a normal sized calf. And this one's a little bit bigger. It's not a lot bigger, but anyhow. So put this big long sock on, and then my own sock on. And then the idea is to try to sleep all night and keep this somewhat elevated, and if possible, not bent like this. Although sleeping with this bent is the most comfortable position. So in the morning when I get up, then this is very stiff. This doesn't want to straighten. It takes a while. You can see how puffy this part is right there. I'm not taking anything that removes the swelling. I'm just taking pain pills and blood thinner and antibiotics. And I can't take some of the stuff that would affect swelling, I think, until the blood thinner is used up, which is a few days yet. I'm kind of like going through a transition stage here, right? So how did it feel? First day, came out of the operation, just la la land. Didn't think I'd sleep, but I slept that night, and I didn't sleep the greatest, but I did. Second day, I felt kind of good. Because at that time, the nerve that goes along here, they tell me was blocked. I don't know where it was blocked at, but they did give me a spinal. And I found a bandage under my back. And maybe the spinal directly affected this nerve. It comes down here. So they deadened that nerve. That nerve stayed deadened the day after the operation. So I was moving around pretty good, doing some exercises. I thought, man, this is going to be cakewalk. And then the third day, that started to go away. I was still on the oxy coating, and I continued to take that for the third day, although I tried to taper it off. And I was taking Tylenol. I was taking 2 tablets every 4 hours initially. Then I tapered off sometime around the third and fourth day to 1 tablet, so that by the third day, which was Wednesday, I was in pain. I had backed off too much on my medicine. We had therapy on Wednesday. We had therapy Wednesday, and I didn't think I was going to go. And that was not a great day. Thursday, yesterday, wasn't a good day either. But we wised up, and I increased my Tylenol dosage from 1 every 4 hours to 2 every 4 hours. And that seemed to work okay. I'm not taking any more of that oxy coating stuff. I've stopped that for a day now. But the Tylenol seems to be working. But I'm not taking anything, like I said, for swelling. Just using the cold pack system. Okay, so this is Friday, end of the day, before I go to bed. Situation I'm at. Hopefully in the next few days, and then maybe in the next week, I'll be closer to normal. What hurts? Well, it hurts to bend this and to make it bend. In other words, if I want to sit up on this chair and then get up, it kind of hurts to bend the knee, especially here. This is the spot where it hurts the most. Okay, so I help it along, and then when I stand up, it hurts some. And then after I walk around a little bit, it doesn't hurt so much. It doesn't hurt to put weight on it. That doesn't hurt. But it's when you swing it out, bring it back. That motion sometimes hurts a little bit, and I'm doing exercises that simulate that motion and also get you to swing it to the maximum amount so it's straight out, so the foot is pointed straight out, and so that's also bent. Okay, there it is, all dressed up, ready for another night. Just put on loose, so it's not supposed to be tight. It's just tight enough so it doesn't fall down. So might need to be a little tighter at the top. Okay, and then I put this long sock on, and then this my regular sock over it. Try to keep everything smooth because it hurts underneath there when you have a bump. All right. That's going to be the night. This will plug in to the ice water bath that's upstairs. Well, today is Tuesday. 1 week and a day since the operation. And I'm starting to actually feel a lot better. Here's the leg. This leg is about 2 inches larger than my other leg. There's a lot of swelling here. I think the tourniquet was put on in this area, and then the bruise moves down from gravity. And I wear this for this one. I put the ice on it. It gives it a little bit of protection. Here's the incision through here, and we're gonna probably take this off tomorrow. The most pain I receive is usually around here. It's like the muscle and the tendon connections, or the connection to the bones, is damaged, hurt, or being repaired, or something. But this is where a lot of my pain is actually at. This is where also the pain was before I had the knee replacement, and this is also where the bones were touching one another. So I think this area has been sensitized, so to speak, or because this side doesn't hardly hurt. I can lift my leg now using my own strength. That would hurt like crazy the day before. I can, like that, yeah. I can walk. I can walk without the walker, but I use it for security because I don't want to fall. I've been using this too. This is a compression boot. There's two of them. This is one, for example. And you put your foot in it, and then it alternatively opens and closes different bags of air here, which squeeze the leg and help increase circulation. And then we use this ice machine. I've been just laying it on here lately. And the ice machine is designed to keep this from swelling more, especially after I do therapy, and I did my exercises about 7:30, 8 o'clock, thereabouts. I'm on the last day of my antibiotics. They end tomorrow morning. And I've got 3 more days of blood thinner. Eliquex, I think it is. And then I go to aspirin, 2 aspirins a day. And after the blood thinner is gone, I can probably go to a anti-inflammatory medication like ibuprofen. I'm just on Tylenol right now. And I've been taking
school. Let's see, maybe 10 pills a day. Varies. I can take 2 every 4 hours, but I've been trying to cut it back to 1.5 and sometimes only 1. So before I go to bed, I might take 2. I'll see how it goes tonight because it's not hurting so much. Well, that's where it's at. The exercises that I usually do laying on the floor with a pillow and do like a leg lift. I have a strap that grabs the toes, and then I put a piece of cardboard under there, and I can slide my leg, and I just lift up in the air, right? And I do some twists for my back, and some twists, some leg lifts, sideways leg lifts with both legs. Oh, today is Friday, November the 29th, Black Friday. And I did buy something today. So, pain-wise, I'm down to about 1 or 2 Tylenols a day because the pain is not so bad. As a matter of fact, this morning I hadn't taken any since last night, so I found out that my triceps behind my arms was hurting, and of course the Tylenols that I've been taking in the past had masked that pain. That's from using the walker and taking weight off my legs with my arms. I was surprised that I would have any pain there because I've been doing push-ups, preparing for this for a while. And just last week or so, I was doing 60 push-ups and 50 push-ups every day in a straight shot. So I thought I would not have trouble, but they're sore. Leg pain is just about all gone most of the time, but once in a while I get a little bit of sharp pain, again on the inside of the knee. It's narrowed down to the size of the spot that seems painful. And the type of movements that cause it are mainly movements that have to do with extreme bending or extreme straightening. My leg is not straight right now. I got to work on that for exercise. It's got a kind of an arch to it when I compare it to the other legs. The idea is you got to press the knee down like this to get it to assume that flat spot. And unfortunately, when I sleep in bed, I'm on my side more as far as that leg goes, and the leg is in a kind of curved position, elevated with a couple pillows. And for many hours, we're talking about 6 or 7 hours, it's like this, and I would like it to be like that. So if I laid on my back and had my heel up on a pillow, that would be perfect, except it's hard to sleep that way. It's somewhat uncomfortable. I'm going to try to do it more because I get a whole night's sleep like that. That would be real helpful with the straightening aspect of that leg. I guess that would be called 0% zero angle is what we're working towards. I'm doing exercises. I do them maybe twice a day. They take a while. I mix in the leg exercises that I do, which are, I do a leg lift. I have a strap to help to start, and after a while I can usually do them. And the height is not so important, the physical therapist says. When you're doing your leg lift, she says, hold it, and then bring it down. And do it slowly. Hold it and bring it down. And the muscles in the quadriceps area here, they are really sore, which would be close to the knuckle of my hand here, in this area right there. And that's from the tourniquet. and the actions of the doctor when they worked on the knee. So that is part of the pain, is tightening those muscles. Tightening these muscles in the leg is painful just by itself, but then the place where they attach to in the knee area, that's also painful, especially on the inside. So all of those things hurt when you tighten that. And the idea of doing this exercise is to keep the muscle strong so that as you develop your normal ability to walk, your leg will be prepared for that. And it'll also help straighten your leg when you want it straightened. So that's one exercise, lifting it up. Another exercise you do is you pull the foot back, and bend your leg like this, like that. And I do it two different ways. I do it laying on my side as a warm-up, and then I sit on my back, lay on my back, and do it like this, and I put a piece of cardboard underneath my foot so that it slides on the floor, using a strap to help pull it back if necessary, and then pull it back a little further than it thinks it can go. Ideally, we want to go to 121 degrees, I think that is, in a bend. And you can see what that is like by just putting the other leg next to it and seeing how much it can bend. So that one's not too hard to do, and you work on that 10 times on the side and then 10 times on your back. I added the side version. Okay. While I'm doing all this, my back starts to hurt. I get a lot of back pain. And it's probably from the contortions that I get into by just trying to move around and protecting my knee. So I also do back exercises in which I lay on the floor and twist my leg, twist my whole body, hold it in the twisted position, do it on the other way, the other side, the other leg, which is what I've been doing for 3 years now. So that seems to be relieving. I also do leg lifts in the past, so I'll do a leg lift on my left side, and I'll try to do a leg lift on the right, and that's the one that really hurts, is when you're doing that leg lift. Oh man, that hurts. Yeah. Now, if I lay on my side and do a sideways lift like that, or the other way by laying on my side and going like this, those don't hurt, and I do those too. I figure, what the heck, it's not going to hurt anything to maintain the muscles in all different directions. And then the last thing to do is to lay flat with your heel against the floor, toes pointing up, and then have somebody push down on your knee. Now, when Fran's not available to do it, because she does it nicely, this doesn't hurt. It's just discomforting, and this is an important exercise. I use my other leg. I bring it across, push down on the knee as much as I can when I'm alone. Okay. So how's it look? Well, we've taken off the bandage, and see if I can show you what it looks like here. Everything's still swollen. I measured things with a ruler. My foot started to lose some of its swellingness yesterday. Here's the incision, taking the bandages off, and there's like a tape with fibers going across it that reinforce it, and I was told not to pull these off. Let them just slowly come off by themselves. Every once in a while, you can see one's kind of loose here. You just leave it alone. Don't pull them off. Okay, so that's fine with me. I'm not pulling them off. But they're slowly getting to the point where they're going to start coming off by themselves. Okay. Sorry, I can't quite see what you're seeing here, but there it is. This is where the pain is a lot, right on this side. And pain used to be very large, and now it's narrowed down to almost to a point. Almost to a point. This is swollen about 1 inch in diameter, in the circumference, more than my other leg. And my thigh is swollen about 1.5 inches more than the other leg. And here's what it looks like now. It actually hurts a little bit to pull this back over it. And there's a bruise from the tourniquet. And this hurts to squeeze this. Not bad. It used to hurt really bad, but not so bad now. So it's coming. Okay. So what can I do? I can walk around okay. I've been advised not to walk without the walker, even though I could. Kind of stiff-legged, because the chance of falling is greater without the walker. And if you fall once, you can really go backwards. So use the walker. That slows me way down. And of course, I can't carry things very well. So we got a little cart. And with the cart, I can push things around. There's jobs I'd like to do, but I just can't do them. So I spend a lot of time sitting, watching TV. There's a guy that does a really good job explaining how he repairs small engine for generators. Boy, is he good. He is so good. He's just enjoyable to listen to. Explains things very nicely. So I spent some time watching him. Yeah. And that's about it. I have one more day to go. The blood thinner. I think it's Eliquix. Stopped my antibiotics, and after that I had like diarrhea. My body had to readjust, but it readjusted in about a day. Some people, it takes them a long time. I seem to be back to normal. So I've been off antibiotics now the second day. And then tomorrow I start aspirin. I'm supposed to take a couple baby aspirin, which is also a blood thinner. I'm supposed to stay down on that for 2 weeks. 2 baby aspirins a day. But I can also start taking an analgesic, such as ibuprofen, which will help swelling. And I'm looking forward to trying to get the swelling down, because swelling is part of what the pain is. It causes discomfort and kind of like just an annoying background kind of pain. And in bed, it's hard to sleep when your leg is swollen. Don't feel right. Yeah. So I got about 6 hours of sleep last night, 7 hours, something around there. The night before, I only had like 4 hours of sleep. Night before that, I had more sleep. It kind of goes on and off. I try not to take any sleeping pills, but I did take melatonin yesterday, and the day before I took a couple melatonins and the antihistamine that works real good for me. I don't like taking those things, so I've taken sleep aids for maybe the last 4 days or so. That's all, and I hope to not take any tonight. So how do I feel? I don't feel like seeing a soul. I don't want to entertain somebody. I don't want to do anything. Just get through my exercises. It's painful, and then let the pain wear off. Put ice on. Keep your thing elevated. Make it through the day. Get through the next one. So I would say the first 2 weeks are really tough. The first week was just much worse than I thought it would be. Day number 2, you start realizing that, whoa, because everything that was still working in day number 1 continues to go over into day number 2, but then it starts to diminish. And then you realize what you can and cannot do. And I was pretty discouraged when I went to the last PT session. She had me go on a bike, and I couldn't go all the way around the bike. I was hoping to try going a bike today at the Y. I couldn't go all the way around. I tried. It just was not quite far enough. I was close, but not quite. I couldn't do one circumference. I adjusted the distance of the seat so it was about as far back as you can go, and I could still reach the pedals. So then after that, we went over to a table to do some exercises that, like the ones I just explained to you, and I started crying. It's just so depressing. Because it's a long haul. And I didn't realize how long a haul it was. It's pretty much up to me. It's a lonely, long haul. You have to do these things on your own. It hurts. You still got to do it because you got to do it now while it's flexible, not later when it gets stiff and hard and stuck. So that was a little embarrassing, but I couldn't help it. I just felt depressed. But anyhow, the PT lady, she was very kind and nice and told me I'm doing all right. I shouldn't get discouraged, just keep it up. But I really hate not being able to do anything. Fortunately, before this operation, I did every job I could think of that needed to be done, all the outside jobs, inside jobs, so that we could be okay. Took care of the leaves, took care of the TV antennas, took care of all the windows, ready for winter. Did the recycling. I mean, anything we could think of that was going to be long-term. Cleaned the house, dusted the whole house, passed the sweeper everywhere, cleaned the toilets. I mean, I did everything I could think of ahead of time while I was mobile and while I had the time. Yeah, and so the kids wanted to come over. And I just didn't think it would work out. So they're kind enough to come just Sunday. So it's least disruptive. Disappointed at that, but it's only one time, I hope. So that's the situation. We're moving along. Okay. Well, here's an update. This is day 13, and I would say that I'm over the hump. The worst days were the beginning of the second week, because it seemed so long. And now I hardly have any pain anymore. I can lift my leg up easily, and that doesn't hurt. There used to be, when the muscles contracted here, that would hurt all along there. And then over here, it still hurted from where the tourniquet was. And now this is not hard to do. I mean, it's uncomfortable. It's still tight in the joint area, but it's not impossible. Also, we've been working on a variety of exercises, and one of them is pushing my knee down while I'm laying on the floor. So Fran does that. So I lay on the floor over here with some pillows, and she presses down on my knee until it starts becoming uncomfortable and holds it there. And she did that about 9 times today. And we're getting it so it's almost straight. If you don't do that, the leg's going to heal in a bent orientation. And the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to straighten it. So we're working on it hard right now. I also found out I can go up those steps. So I took 2 textbooks like this, and stacked them up and stepped up on it with this bad leg. And I was able to do that about 20 times. And having done that without too much pain, I thought, man, if I work on that every day, I should eventually be able to step up steps normally. Right now I go up 1 step at a time like a little kid. Pain-wise, I don't take any pain pills anymore. I'm taking an analgesic, which has some pain properties in it, but I'm no longer taking the Tylenol. Instead, what I'm doing is taking aspirin for a blood thinner, since I used up the prescription thinner, and then taking a couple Aleve a day. And that's supposed to not only take care of some pain, but it's supposed to take care of the swelling. Now, concerning the swelling, I've made measurements on my foot, my calf, and my thigh, and they're all larger than this size. But I found out that I should not be sleeping all night with the ice machine on my leg, this thing here, and I was. And what happens is, if you have the ice on a long time, it's counterproductive. Ice is supposed to contract the blood vessels and reduce blood flow to the area, but for over a long time, it actually causes your body to open them up to try to provide heat. So I guess in the beginning, right after the operation, when swelling was such a big problem, you should have it on all the time. That's what I thought they told me. But not all night when you're better. So last night I took it off and I was able to sleep a little better, but sleeping still is a problem. And tonight will be the second night without the ice machine, but it's just hard to fall asleep, hard to become comfortable. My leg has to be elevated, so I got 2 pillows at the end of the bed underneath my leg, and I'm trying to keep my leg upright, but of course you can't, so it ends up like this. And then sometimes I end up sleeping with my leg bent like this and kind of curled over on the side, but at least it's elevated. So hopefully in the next couple of days the swelling's going to go down some, and if that works, that'll be good. So I think I'm over the hill. I'm starting to make progress that can get me into trouble if I'm not careful, and if I don't keep using my walker like I should, because a fall right now would be bad. All right, take it easy. Bye-bye. Oh, and tomorrow everybody's coming over for Thanksgiving. So we normally have them here a couple of days, like maybe 3 days, but it's just too hard right now. If I would have had this operation 2 weeks sooner, it would have been all right, but it got postponed because I scratched my leg and got some bad cuts over here that had healed before he was willing to do an operation. That happened when I was pushing a tree off the road for the fire department, and a branch rolled up and just rubbed my leg. Okay. Well, this is Sunday night, getting ready to go to bed. Day number 13. I got my nose sticking, helps me sleep. And the day went pretty good. I'm able to walk up steps carefully. Down steps is a little tricky yet. Of course, I'm holding on both handrails. But my leg is able to take care of my weight and the bending and transferring going up a step. Let's take a look at it. So here's the way it's looking. It seems like the calf has gotten a bit smaller. I mean the thigh. The calf actually got a little bigger, and so did the foot. Probably from standing a lot today, being on my feet. So we'll see what happens tomorrow when I wake up after laying in bed. And this part over here is getting a bit itchy and sensitive, and a slight amount of heat. But I don't think there's any noticeable redness, so keep an eye on it. I didn't do any of the exercise where you straighten it in, Fran pushed it down today. We had visitors today, so I did everything but that. I can lift my leg up without any pain. I can swirl it around. I can do sideways leg lifts. I can't bend it all the way, but I've tried bending it. Let's see if you compare the two legs. All right, it's about 90 degrees. And of course, this other leg, the good one, which was always able to bend more than this one after I had orthoscopic surgery. This one can go back that far. And this one here, I can get about that far back. And it's tight. I see. So that just takes some work and bending. I'm confident I can get that eventually bent more. It's the straightening part that's a little more scary. Okay. Now the antibiotics. I quit the antibiotics and my digestive system still seems unsettled. And it's been, it's been 4 days since I quit the antibiotics. Unfortunately, when I go to the dentist in about 3 months, I've got to go on antibiotics again. Hopefully I don't have to do it too many times. I think I have to do that for a year. So before you go to dentist, or after or during someplace around there, you take antibiotics. And then if you go to the dentist again within a year of your operation, I think you do it one more time. Again, trying to protect from any kind of severe blood infection because of the trauma and the exposure, I guess, of the bone to, I don't know, the lymph system or whatever. It just isn't as protected as it normally would be. I don't know. But anyhow, that's the story. Good night. So the last thing to mention is sleep. Sleep has been a real problem. I've had to take sleeping pills. It's hard to fall asleep. You just can't feel comfortable and relaxed. And the pillows that are used to elevate my leg seems to make it even worse. So last night, halfway through the night, I got rid of the pillows and just sleeping on a regular flat bed. So tonight I'm going to bed that way. And hopefully I can get a good night's sleep. My leg will be relatively level, won't be elevated, but we'll see what happens. Well, this is Monday night, so it's been a week and 12 hours since the operation. 2 weeks and 12 hours since the operation. Still swollen. I've been measuring the size of calf, my thigh, and my foot. And I thought they would start going down some more. They went down a little bit, and then they haven't gone down so much. Today I was more active. I took a walk around the YMCA, and I rode the bike a little bit at the YMCA. Went up and down steps today in the normal way, not like a baby, one step at a time. and my muscles in my thigh felt kind of sore. Like, hey, this is hard exercise. Well, these muscles have not been used for 2 weeks, and that's about the time it takes for the muscles to start to degrade. So that could be part of why it's sore, but why the swelling hasn't gone down much, I don't know. Continuing my aspirin twice a day and taking 2 or 3 Aleve each day. Pain-wise, the pain is almost all gone. And when I do get a pain, it's not so bad. And in fact, the muscle pain is more annoying than the joint pain. I do get a little pain on the sides now and then, as if I had twisted my knee. So I expect that maybe in another week I'll stop feeling anything. I can do my exercise lifting. I have trouble turning, rotating, getting it perfectly straight. It's not quite there. Fran pushed on it 10 times today. We got it close to the floor, but it wasn't quite there. And of course, it's uncomfortable when it's doing that. And then afterwards, it's kind of a numbing, penetrating pain that lasts for a few minutes. It's totally bearable, but it's annoying. So I feel like I'm definitely over the hump. If I had to describe the time when I was at the lowest, it was about 6 days ago, 5 days ago. I seem to be getting better every day now. That's good. Okay. All right, this is Tuesday night, December the 3rd, and feeling a lot better today. Hardly any pain. I can pretty much do anything that normally a person would do when they're walking. I can go up and down steps without any help. I mean, I use the handrails, of course, but my leg can lift me up and take me down from one step to another without having to do a single step at a time like a little kid. I didn't use a walker at all today, just around the house. And today I did all my exercises. I think there was only 1 or 2 that I couldn't do because one of them required me to kneel on my knee. Push-ups were hard today. Before I was able to do 60 push-ups. Today it was tough to do 20. But I was kind of surprised because when I'm in the walker, I'm kind of like using the same muscles holding me up in the air. So I didn't think they would deteriorate much, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. It felt good to be able to do all my stretching exercises. I can do my leg lifts, all my twisting with my legs. I can hold my legs straight out, can rotate them around. So what I still can't do yet, of course, is straighten my knee 100%. That's where Fran pushes on the knee down the ground. We're working on that. We're getting close. And I still have some swelling. But it seemed to have made a breakthrough today. I put a wrap around my calf. For most of the evening, and this went down a whole inch. So I'm going to try putting a wrap around maybe my foot while I sleep, because my foot is still pretty much just as enlarged as it was this morning. Okay, and so is my thigh up here. So I think the wraps are real key. And we've got support stockings coming, which should help in the same way. If I get the swelling to go away, I can move my leg much better, because the swelling makes it, it interferes with your mobility and your extension and bending of the knee. Okay, and like I said, today's Tuesday, December the 3rd. We have our 3rd PT session tomorrow. In Manaway, we were going to Crystal Clinic in Kent, but Manaway's closer and should be just as good. Fran's been there before, and they gave us a prescription to go there. And also I might get my parking sticker prescription, which I then submit to the state, and then I guess they give me a thing to hang on the car so I can use handicap parking, but about the time I get all that, I think I'll probably be back to normal. But anyhow, we'll see how that goes. All right, good night. Yeah, it's really hard to fall asleep, so I take a sleeping pill in the middle of the night. Try not to take anything at night so I can sleep normally, but I ended up sleeping probably 8 hours last night, but when you take a sleeping pill, it makes you groggy all day. Trying to dose it correctly so that you fall asleep, but it doesn't last forever. I've started taking fish oil and turmeric. Oh, and another thing that's in apple, I forget the name of it, begins with a C, that Scott and Fran suggested to help with swelling. Because I haven't taken any Advil. Hoping to take care of some of the loose stool that maybe is caused by that. I don't know, that's another annoyance. But anyhow, making progress, but the tight knee and sleep, I would say, are the two biggest problems. Pain is not a problem. I can go up and down steps pretty normally. Again, at the very end of the bends, it's still a little tricky because the knee isn't fully functional yet. But carrying weight and moving around, it's fine. Well, today is the December the 8th, day 21. And the situation is as follows. Still have swelling. A lot of swelling up here. Some pain here. I think related to the tourniquet still. That's the worst spot down there. Okay. Sutures are fine. Swelling of the calf, it's gone down some. My foot's still swollen a bit. At night, I've tried wrapping it, but it's so uncomfortable. That part of the night, I took the wrap off. Here's the situation. I can straighten it up with the muscles. No problem. The muscles seem strong enough. Okay, I've exercised now 2 days with all of my older exercises plus the ones for my knee. And I don't think I have any strength trouble. The trouble is when I stand up, this leg is bent forward. I'll get an angle to see it. Compared to the other leg, which is the knee is locked and it's straight. See how? So here's the difference. Let me make them both the same. Okay, about both the same. Now this one normal can go like that. This one can go part of the way, but not all the way. So it wants to stay bent. And that's the most painful exercise that we do. I only did a couple of them yesterday, which Fran pushes down. I think we only did one yesterday. Pushes down on this one. I'm laying on the floor on my back and tries to get that to go straight. So that's what I'm worried about, trying to get that to go straight. I know the longer I wait to get it straight, the more it's going to hurt. Sleep is a problem. I just can't fall asleep. This is December the 6th, 19th day after the operation. And this is right before I go to bed. It's about midnight. So the situation is I'm really starting to feel good. I can walk up and down the steps pretty normal. Still a little pain. And I still have swelling. swelling hasn't gone down as much as I'd like. I'm supposed to get support stockings that help during the day. They were supposed to come today, didn't come yet, but the weather's been bad. Trying to do more exercises that involve bending and completely straightening the leg. I don't seem to need muscle building exercises. I'm doing all of the ones that I have been doing for the last 3 years, and a lot of them are leg work. So I think I'm making good progress. I'm hoping maybe in a week I can just walk around more normal, do just about everything at walking speed everywhere, maybe even shovel snow. We'll see how that goes. Medicine. Still taking aspirin. I have to take that for about another week and a few days. But the Advil, I think it's giving me diarrhea. I thought the diarrhea was the loose stool. I don't actually have diarrhea, but a loose stool, it seems to be, I thought was from the antibiotic when I got off of it, but it seems to persist. So I'm trying to not take any of the Aleve for the next day or so and see how that goes. Weight is a problem. It's hard to not gain weight now. I'm starting to have an appetite, but I'm not doing enough walking. So I gotta combat that and watch what I eat. Okay, take a look at it, I guess. There's not much change. I have to all the little strips falling off. Maybe you can see the little bit of swelling. The foot's still swollen. And the thigh is still swollen. This is swollen by about about 1.5 inches. This is still swollen. So we'll see how it goes. Move the hump. Okay, good night. This is Tuesday, December 10th. I'll be visiting the doctor for post-op consultation on Thursday. Also Thursday, I'll be going for my third PT visit in Manaway after I had 2 at the Crystal Clinic in Kent. My goal this week, according to Edie, who's my PT person in Manaway, is to straighten the leg. I don't know what the degree is, but it's not quite straight, so Fran's been pushing on it today. And it hurts, but it seemed to hurt less today than in the past, and I was able to withstand her pushing on it for 30 seconds. It feels like it's getting really straight, so I hope that continues. The problem is at night when I sleep in bed, it's hard to keep it straight. So I wake up with it really stiff and angled, bent. See, I'll show you. So here we are. This is my leg. I got it on ice. We put ice 20 minutes and then take it off. And it has a slight bend like this now. I straighten as much as I can. It's close to matching this other one. It's hard to tell with this on there, but the knees are getting close. This is at the end of the day after doing a lot of flexing. In the morning, not like that. And it's the end of my 20 minutes. I've got the swelling down quite a bit using a compression sock that goes up to my knee and wrapping my thigh. That's really helped. The problem is sleeping, trying to go to bed at night and sleep. I just feel uncomfortable and I start rolling around, and last night I didn't go to bed till 3 o'clock. So hopefully I'll do better tonight. Okay, bye-bye. Well, good morning there. This is day 25, December the 13th. Almost 3 weeks since the operation. 2 weeks and about 5 days. This is a Friday morning. It's actually 4:30 in the morning. And might as well bring it up now. My biggest problem with this operation is getting decent night's sleep. I've been having to take small amounts of sleeping pills for many of the nights just to fall asleep. Last night I didn't take one. The night before I didn't take one. Trouble is, I wake up maybe 2 hours. Today I woke up 2 hours after I fell asleep, went to the bathroom, and I couldn't go back to sleep. I don't want to take another sleeping pill or any sleeping pills again. So after laying in bed for a while, I just decided I'm going to get up. So here I am. Anyhow, the situation is as follows. I've improved a lot. The bending of my knee is pretty complete. I think I can almost bend it as much as I need to. Straightening is still a problem. I can't quite get it fully straight. I think I'm off by about 9 degrees. And we're working on that. We worked on that all week. Fran pushing on it while I laid on my back. My heel of my foot raised a little bit on a pillow, and then she pushed on the knee joint. We held it for a number of seconds, up to 30 seconds to straighten it, and that stretches the ligaments on the back side of the leg. I also do anyhow, there are stretches of the back ligaments when you stand against a wall with your heel again on the floor, and that's supposed to help too. So that's my biggest goal, is to get that knee and that joint straight. Made pretty good progress. I seem to be ahead of the average. I've had 4 PT visits, 2 at the Crystal Clinic and 2 in Manaway. And I have 4 more scheduled in Manaway. I might be able to get away with just 2 more. We'll see what happens next week and how straight I can get my leg. I was able to do most of the operations that she asked me to do, walking sideways, walking through a small obstacle course, up a slant, down a slant, taking steps, forward and backwards, standing on one leg and balancing, moving my leg sideways, moving my leg backwards, moving my leg in the other direction. All those things seem to be working fine. Swelling seems to be under control. I've been using a compression sock. That's really helped a lot. I've been using that for about 4 or 5 days now. And that, along with icing, maybe 4 or 5 times a day, 20 minutes on and then off, has really cut the swelling down quite a bit. I'm on my last dosage of aspirin. I take 2 aspirin a day for blood thinner, and that will end today. For pain, I've been taking ibuprofen, maybe 2 pills a day, especially to take a pill before a PT visit. But after the last one, I don't think I'm going to need to take those anymore. I went to the doctor for a follow-up visit. He said everything was fine. Asked him some questions. He says, protect your kneecap. Don't be kneeling on anything for quite a while. I mean, not until maybe the springtime. And if you kneel, put a pad under it. Okay, and I can do that. And he also said that when they did the operation, they didn't put my leg in any kind of traction. They just bent it. And the pain that I feel in the upper thigh was just basically from the tourniquet. I asked his nurse if the metal in my knee would make me unable to have an MRI done in the future. And she said, no, it's made out of titanium, and I guess that won't be affected by the magnetic field in the MRI machine. I was glad to hear that. Asked him about going to the dentist. His protocol is you take 4 ampicillin type antibiotics 1 hour before you visit the dentist. And then if any thing that the dentist does causes bacteria to get into your bloodstream, it will not damage the knee, which I guess sort of attracts, I don't know why, attracts the infection, maybe because that area isn't well protected from harboring bacteria on its surfaces. There's no blood supply there. There's just blood supply up to it. Or maybe that's why, because of course there's fluid all around the knee joint. So I was reluctant to get antibiotics, but maybe that'll be okay if it's just a one-time megadose and then it's over with. Maybe we'll be able to survive that. And I have to do that for 2 years. So I have a dentist appointment coming up in February, and I have to call him to get the prescription before I see the dentist. The PT advisor said I'm doing everything okay. Just got to work on straightening the knee and stretching exercises. And she massages behind my knee the tendons, which are really sore. And that really felt good. So I can do that myself, and Fran can help me do some of that too to help alleviate that annoyance. I will visit him one more time in January, the final visit. And so it looks to me like sometime in January I might be close to normal. Well, at least as far as the leg and knee goes. When I walk, the PT noticed that sometimes I'm dragging my injured knee or leg, or getting a little lazy with it, not lifting it up enough, and it makes me prone to tripping over small increases in height of things. See, so and it's kind of a carryover from starting to walk after the operation. You just feel like you have to take it easy on that leg. So I have to think about walking properly with a bad leg. Make sure I lift it up properly and move it forward properly. Okay, that's the update. Merry Christmas. Okay, this is December the 14th. Almost 3 weeks, so it'll be 3 weeks tomorrow. And trying to show the difference. You can see, look in the mirror here, that's one knee. I got the feet lined up, close as I get them, perpendicular to the mirror. And of course there's still some swelling. This from here down in the thigh, and the knee itself is still swollen some, not much. Calf and the foot are almost back to normal. But if I just stand and relax the thigh muscle, you can see that one knee sticks out a little further than the other. If I tighten the thigh muscle, tighten up the thigh muscle, I can bring that knee back some, but it doesn't want to do that naturally. And it needs to come back all the way so that it can lock. As it is right now, the left leg is holding me up without much muscle work because it's kind of locked. The alignment provides support, whereas the other leg has got a slight bend to it. So the muscles have to work hard to maintain the rigid support. So what happens is I basically favor my left leg for most of the normal operations of walking and climbing stairs and so on. And you start to develop a weird walk. And
That's what we're trying to fix. The goal is to get these two legs parallel with one another. Pain-wise, still got pain in the calf back here. Yeah, I've been stretching it, and this side hasn't been hurting as much as it has in the past. I still feel a little stretching here on the stitches. I do the extreme bends like riding a bike. Yeah, but, I stopped taking aspirin yesterday for a blood thinner. That was the end of the protocol. And I stopped taking pain medications the day before. I think Thursday was the last day I took any pain medication or medication to help swelling. So I'm concentrating on support stocking. I ice it regularly, 20 minutes on and off, maybe 4 or 5 times a day, especially after exercise. And I'm trying to start walking more. Yesterday I walked to a nearby street named Wheeler Road. That was about a half mile and back. So I put in about a mile, maybe a little less than a mile. Okay. Well, today is Tuesday morning. 4 weeks and 2 days since the operation. This is December the 17th. Here's the situation. Swelling has gone down some, and the compression stock really helps with the foot and the calf. It comes up to about here. A reminder, these marks are the locations where I check for swelling consistently each day. I added the knee, by the way. I wasn't doing that originally. And there's one at my thigh here, and then there's one high up in the thigh. Okay. So the thigh seems to be coming down. The knee is still swollen, but it's come down some. I have a new sock coming that's going to go up higher, and that should help a lot. Getting the swelling down really helps for the total movement of the joint. So progress-wise, I'm getting close to being straight, still not straight. Oh, if I stand up, I don't know if you can see it or not. Put the feet about the same location. See, this knee locks. See how it goes back and locks. This knee goes back. It's close to locking, but not quite. So it's still a couple degrees. I don't know what the number is. A couple of degrees short. And you can see the swelling. It's a little puffy there. So that's a big goal. Just trying to get that locked and straight. Usually when I sleep, it gets worse overnight. I sleep with my legs sometimes at an angle like this. Try to keep it straight, but I just can't, obviously. When you're sleeping, who knows what your leg does. When I get up in the morning, it's really stiff. Today it wasn't so bad. Yesterday it was terrible. I mean, these tendons back here, one on this side and one on that side, hamstrings, oh, they tight. I did some exercises and loosened it up some, but not enough. And then I had PT with Edith in Manaway, and she massaged these guys for about 10 minutes, alternated between one and the other, going right along the tendon and working it more in a longitudinal massage like this. And when she was done, they felt kind of natural and normal. And I was able to straighten my leg better without the stiffness. Okay, it was really, really effective. So yesterday I also walked about 5,000 steps and worked on a bike at the Y.
did all my exercises, and also had PT. So it was a pretty good day. Sleep-wise, last night, I did pretty good sleeping. Better than some of the previous nights. A couple previous nights I've been sleeping like 2-3 hours. And I can't go back to sleep. So being more active, getting more steps in, seems to help the sleep. Okay. Unfortunately, yesterday I had some chocolate. And that has caffeine in it, and it keeps me awake. So I was battling that, and despite that fact, I was able to fall asleep, although I went to bed at 1:30, knowing that probably the caffeine was working on me for a while. Pain-wise, very little pain, just discomfort when you straighten it all the way. Every once in a while, a bit of a pinpoint, this area right here. Once in a while, the stitches themselves feel a little stiff yet, but it's not painful anymore. Sometimes it feels kind of crampy, but not a cramp, just numb kind of pain. Discomforting is what I would call it. But I'm way over the hump now as far as pain goes. When I walk, I try to walk consciously about what this leg is doing, so that it goes all the way forward, it comes back, it does its maneuvering with the foot, and it doesn't point too far outwards. I think about each step, and hopefully this will all settle in, and I won't have to do that in the future, but still being cautious. Definitely don't want to fall. I've been walking outside, and the weather's been halfway decent. Okay, so that's the update. Oh, one last thing, pain meds. I took one Aleve yesterday, about an hour before PT, and that was it. Haven't had any for a couple days, and I don't plan on taking any more unless I really need it before the PT. Magic marks that I would put on my leg so that I always measure the same spot. And at the same time, I was using the constriction sock, which went from my thigh down to my ankle. It's designed to go further, but I cut it off because it was a pain in my foot. Crinkle up down there and so on. But the swelling pretty much stopped, except for at the very knee. There's a pocket, a bag that surrounds and is located above the kneecap. I think it's called something like a bursa, but I'm not sure if that's the correct name. And that area still has a little bit of swelling to it. And it was, I believe, a significant factor in trying to straighten my leg. That area of swelling would inhibit my leg from going straight. Like it was a blockage right here. And it has gone way down so that now I can get my leg pretty straight. And one of the ways I can tell this is when I lay in bed on my belly and I straighten this leg out with this knee against the mattress. There's a slight pain that I experienced when this leg was not able to go straight. Now the pain is just about all gone. So to help straighten that leg, I did a lot of therapy that involved stretching the back side of my leg, which are the hamstrings. Fran would push down on it when I was laying on the floor at the edge of the steps. Did it over there, and that helped. And also I would do stretches for the hamstrings, and I still do those. And I did some other stretches when I'm laying on the floor with a with a band that I pull on the leg in different directions. And I also cross my leg. Now, before the operation, I could not cross my leg completely. It was getting close, and I've been working on it for 3 years. And I run across the same trouble right now. It's like it reoccurs. So when I cross it, the knee is up in the air like this, see? Trying to get it flattened and get it to bend more. And that's something I work on every day. And that's improving. So that's part of the bending therapy, which is the opposite of the straightening therapy. So both of those are a big part of what therapy was all about. And I've made a lot of progress there. When I'm walking around, I don't notice hardly anything about my knee. Going down steps was a bit of a pain. I mean, it actually hurt a little bit. Every time I stepped down with my left leg, and my right leg was bending behind it. And it's pretty much almost all gone away. So that kind of limited my ability to go down steps smoothly. I do about an hour and 15 minutes of exercises every day, and I've been doing that ever since the operation, and then 3 years before the operation. I've added some things because of the operation to the exercises. Some of them is muscle building, some of it is stretching, and because of all those exercises, my back doesn't hurt anymore. My back stopped hurting months ago. Okay, it used to be painful. I just don't have any back pain anymore. Okay, I do sit-ups. I do a lot of stuff with my legs, leg lifts, and they all seem to help. So I just keep going. It's a motivation problem every morning to do it for an hour and 15 minutes or so, whatever it takes. But once I get it done, it's good. What else do I need to tell you? So if you're getting this knee operation, it's important to be fit ahead of time. And then the first week, things seemed to be going fine. And the second week was the tough week. And I don't know whether I was doing enough physical therapy or not then. It might have been part of the trouble. I just didn't know. That's the second week I thought was pretty tough. I haven't used the ice for a while now. We stopped using the ice probably about a month ago, maybe the beginning of March, because the swelling seems to have gone down so much. So I was using ice, and then I would use heat, and about 20 minutes each with an hour in between. So I might do it once or twice a day, that's all. But doesn't seem to make a difference. I've been walking a lot, walking more now that the weather's better. Try to do at least 7,000 or 8,000 steps a day, and sometimes more. I think the most I've done recently is about 14,000. Sometimes it's hard because I got jobs to do in the house and doesn't require a lot of walking, but that seems to help too. Medications, I haven't been taking any medications since the very beginning, very little. I was just taking Tylenol, and that didn't seem to help a lot. I'm waiting to be able to give blood. I'm supposed to wait 6 months. And I'm also supposed to wait about that long before I can actually kneel on my kneecap. I do kind of a stretch with my kneecap on the floor right now. I can feel it. It doesn't quite feel right. So there's no reason to push it. I haven't fallen on my bad leg, but I did fall on my good leg tripping when I was at a fire call. But it was all to the left, nothing to the right, and I did fine. I know, stepped on, foot got caught in a weed or something, who knows what it was, during a grass fire. So I think that's about it. It was a good idea to do this in the wintertime. You just, you can't move around a lot in the beginning. So you're stuck in the house anyhow. And because we had the YMCA nearby, and I'm a member, I could use that facility if I need to do some walking or bicycle riding, even when it's cold out. Okay, and but the weather been nice, I just can't do that much walking. Okay, that's about it. Bye-bye. The 29th, is that right? Yes, the 29th. It's been 4 months and about a week and a half. And I'm getting pretty back to normal. Around 4 months, a little past 4 months, I stopped measuring for swelling. I was keeping track of swelling. Excuse my finger. On a notebook here, and I would measure the diameter of my foot, my calf, my knee, and my thigh. With I had marks, magic marker marks that I would put in. Well, today is June the 8th, and I thought I'd do a half-year update on my knee surgery. First of all, I've been doing my daily exercises. It takes about 1 hour every day, ever since pretty much the end of the after the operation. I'm just about daily. Hardly any days I've missed doing that. I also have been walking a lot. Average about 9,000 steps a day. Some days more. I've had steps as high as 17,000. Not often, but recently. And what the situation is with the knee is as follows. First of all, walking down the steps used to hurt quite a bit. So much so that I would have to hold the handrail and provide a little assistance when my operated knee was bending the most as I stepped down with my non-operative knee. Now there's pretty much no difference between the two knees going down the steps. Second, there was some swelling above the knee cap area that seems to have pretty much disappeared. Not completely, but pretty much. And that swelling, I think, is interfering with my ability to straighten the knee all the way, which I can pretty much do that completely now. When I lay in bed on my stomach and that knee is perfectly straight, it's not discomforting like it used to be. And also, I think that swelling was reducing my ability to bend the knee. So concerning bending, that part is still not complete yet. I think I'm starting to get close to the way I was before the operation. I wish I could remember how much I could bend that knee before, but I know it was not the same as my unoperated knee. So I work on some exercises specifically designed to bend the knee to the max. One of them is a strap attached to my foot and pull my knee back close to my butt while I lay on my back, so that it forms a V in the air, and I pull it back as far as I can, and it just about goes back as far as the good knee, the unoperated knee. I also sit in a chair and cross my leg and pull that operated knee as close to my waist as I can. that's not quite the same as it used to be. It's still a little tight. And I also kneel on the floor and bend the operated knee as much as I possibly can while I'm kneeling, and that really hurts. That's the hardest exercise to do. And I try to hold these exercises for a minute. So I get a little discouraged that the bending process is not as nice as I'd like it to be after this much time, but still working on it. And it seems to get better a little bit each day. When I ride a bike now, it's not as bad as the first few days. There's the bending as I bring the pedals around is not painful like it used to be. So I expect that maybe by the end of a year, maybe that knee will be back to normal. I can run a little bit on it. I don't find it comfortable. I can walk on it fine. Sometimes the little sideways actions is a little painful. Because I do an exercise laying on my side with my operated knee upward, and I do like a leg lift and twist it. Leg lift straight up and a leg lift rotating clockwise and one rotating counterclockwise. And that's a little bit painful, that side kind of force. But I can do it. Okay, so that's the update.